Alright. One of the best black uncommons you can open is Shriekmaw. That card is generally just basically unfair. Knucklebone Witch is, I mean, it'd be nice to wheel that, but you'd have to be nuts to take it over to Shriekmaw, I believe. Especially with 2 Warren Pilferers. And I also have Birthright to recur Pilferers. So, I mean, I can envision circumstances in which I have Shriekmaw and a Pilferers in a hand, and I evoke Shriekmaw, and then play Pilferers on the 5th turn and get back Shriekmaw. Sometimes that's all you need to really put someone in the ground. Nameless Inversion is maybe the best removal spell. I don't know. It competes with Lash Out, but the best thing about it is that it counts as a changeling in your graveyard for cards that care about that, and also I can get it back with Boggart Birthright, so it's pretty awesome. Plover Knights is good for someone else. Harpoon Sniper is good and uncommon for the Merfolk deck, and then there's Fairy Harbinger and Morncaller, so this is a pretty good pack. Alright, we're seeing cards that we are really great for someone else, but not really for us. Basically here it's between Thieving Sprite and Consuming Bonfire. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of removal. Consuming Bonfire is fine. It's rather expensive though, and the thing about Lorwyn is it's kind of a fast format, fast-ish. And sometimes you get to 5 mana and you don't want to spend 5 mana killing a creature because you need to be doing something else. I like Thieving Sprite, especially since I have a Skeletal Changeling that'll sometimes power it up. Because sometimes just knocking a card out of their hand is really good. Here, it's between Pepper Smoke and Dream Spoiler Witches, and Dream Spoiler is going to end up being better than Pepper Smoke for me. I mean, the first Dream Spoiler is probably better than the first Pepper Smoke. I have Tarfire, Lash Out, and Nameless Inversion, so those are some things, and it's also Flyer, but basically just like the little extra bit of removal is really helpful. Also, Pepper Smoke will not draw me a card very often. Drowner of Secrets is in here, which is a sick uncommon for Merfolk. Several cards I would like in here, but I'm going to take Squeaking Pie Sneak, because in my deck I will have enough Boggarts or Goblins that I can play it on turn 2 reliably, and it's a good evasive card because it has Fear. There's also Moonglove Extract, which is okay removal, and Sear Blades is a 2/4 that can get bigger, and Adder Staff is a fine 2-drop. Hopefully I'll wheel one of those. I don't know if that will be likely or not. Okay, this is interesting. I could take another Thieving Sprite because they get better in multiples, obviously. But Boggart Loggers is against any people playing Treefolk or Forests. It's a really good card. Other people, it's just a random, 2/1 for 3. It's not very impressive. But it also kills Changelings, which is a very significant point, because it has that destroy target Treefolk or Forest. Yeah. I could take Inner Flame Acolyte. It's a fine card, but I am more black than red. And Boggart Loggers, it's just generally is a solid card to have, so. Okay. Here we take another Skeletal Changeling, because Changelings are terrific. They're awesome. Inner Flame Acolyte and Winnower are playable, so. Alright, so we tabled Knucklebone Witch. I don't know, it's possible that I will play it. Not entirely sure yet. I'm not going to be playing Spiderwig Boggart. I'm going to hate Spell Stutter, because it's pretty good. It's particularly good against my removal, because any fairy that they have out If they have Spell Stutter Sprite, they can counter any of my cheap removal, and that can be a blowout. Not playing Shaman. I'll hate the Guardian of Cloverdale, although it's not really played that often. I could hate this Pro Goblin card, but I'm just going to take Blades of Velospell. I'll take Falltrender. Alright, so we immediately open nutty cards for the colors that we're not in. Notorious Throng is super game-changing. The Swell of Courage also is, but I can't really do either of those. I can take Shard Volley. Yeah, I think I'll take, well, let's see. It's between Shard Volley and Moonglove for me. I can get a Frog Tosser, I'm pretty sure, and I only really want to play like one of those. The Changeling is just really good because the Death Touch and also it being a Changeling. But I'm just going to take Shard Volley, although it could have tabled. I don't have nuts amount of removal like I had in the last draft, so I think I'll be using that. Alright, well, this is interesting. Rage Forger doesn't fit in my deck. I love Rage Forger as one of those kind of cards. Actually, I'm going to take Una's Blackguard because, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 rogues. That's enough that she's worth having. And if I ever hit with her ability, that's basically really awesome. Weirding Shaman is fine, but now that damage does not stack, it is quite a lot less fine. And although I could, like, pseudo go off with Knucklebone Witch and Weirding Shaman, really it's just not going to be that crazy. Whoa! Okay, so Cloak and Dagger is pretty good in my deck. Earwig Squad is probably what I should have taken the first pick of the third pack in my last draft, because I just discounted. I can prowl it if I hit him with a Goblin or a Rogue. I have some Rogues. I mean, I have some Flying Fairy Rogues, and I also have Goblins. So, yeah, and even just a 5/3, if I don't end up prowling it, is fine. But because of the random possibility of a blowout kind of situation like that, I'll take it. Oh, that's interesting. I'll take the second Blackguard, and I guess I'll kind of slide into a rogue-type deck. Basically, I'm going to take Release the Ants, because it's good against me, and also it's a good removal spell. Also, I can probably find, I only want 1 or 2 more cheap, fast type rogues. Alright, that's Prickly Barger is fine. I also have Nightshade Stinger, which I grabbed in the first, like the second pack. Obsidian Battle Axe is quite good, but it's not the class for me, so it becomes less good. Although it works with my Changelings. I'm going to either want Pax Disdain or Morsel Theft. Morsel Theft is good, actually, but I'm going to go with Pax Disdain, because it seems more reliable to me. There's basically nothing I'm going to be taking out of here. I could hate something. It's not really interesting at all. I'm just going to take Coordinated Barrage, so I don't anticipate wanting any of those other cards. Okay. There's a Prickly Boggart for me. Late Ambassador Oak. Gotta love yourself some Hill Giants. Yeah. And so Frog Tosser turns into a pretty good card for me. It's rather unlikely that I'll play Roar the Crowd, so we're gonna take Rage Forger. Hey. So I might play that Prickly Boggart over the Nightshade Stinger, and they'll be fine.